Hey everybody, it's Doug again. We're moving on to lesson 8. Alright, in the previous lessons we've talked about components of guitar, we've talked about chromatic scale exercises, we've talked about how to do a cool exercise that separates the left hand and right hand while you're trying to learn those neural responses, because that's, at the end of the day, that's what it's all about from the mechanical standpoint of music. And I explained how if your brain can focus on one hand at a time, and then when you mesh it together, you'll actually accomplish your goals and learn things a lot quicker, a lot faster by doing that way. You're doing it that way. And I picked that up from another instructor years and years ago, and I thought it was great, and I threw that in my little kit bag, and I've remembered it ever since, and I'm passing it along to you guys. Whoops. We talked about different ways of tuning guitars. Once again, if you're here sitting in front of me on YouTube, please, if you're going to practice your guitar, do it for me, do it for you. Do it with a tuned guitar. That is training your ears. If you do it with an untuned guitar, out of tune, and you're just playing around, even if you think you're fiddling around, you're going to train your ears incorrectly, and we don't want that. Okay, so what are we going to talk about in today's lesson? Today's lesson is going to be pretty simple. What we're going to do is expand on the major scale in a whole different way. And you're going to be like, what? Okay, what I mean by that, we're going to learn the minor scale, okay? And I'm going to show you how they relate to each other, okay? So we're dealing with C. All the rules are going to apply for the other keys, but since the key of C is what music theory is written around, and there's no sharps and flats, and the key of C is a great one to pivot off of on all these lessons as we move forward. And so we're like, okay, well, you mean C minor? No, I don't. Okay, because C minor is not in the key of C, because the key of C has no sharps and flats. So we have to determine, well, what would be the minor that is closely associated to C major? Well, it happens to be A minor, and that's in the 6th position. So that is the 6th chord in the key of C, and we'll touch on chords and stuff like that probably in the next what a chord is, and start working on what a chord is, what a key is, and start working on chords in the next lesson. So we've got this C major, and I'm telling you guys that this A minor marries up to it very, very closely. And you're like, I don't understand. Well, you will. Remember, let's go back to, I'll keep hashing this out because it always seems to help me keep things straight. There are only 12 notes in music as far as we're concerned, Western music. Stuff that sounds good to us, there are only 12 notes. If anything comes out of an instrument other than that, it's not going to sound good to us. There are 12 notes in music. Only 7 of those notes at any time are in any key. The C scale has 7 notes. The B scale has 7 notes. Different series. Some of those notes overlap, some of them don't. Okay? So on and so forth. So what we're saying is that 6th interval, that is what you call the relative minor. Okay? And when you're going from the reverse, if you were in a minor key and you were wanting to look for that major, they call that the major third. So the C is the major third of A minor. A minor is the relative minor to C. And hopefully what I'm explaining makes sense. I hope I didn't introduce it too early. A lot of times everybody learns their scales just generically, you know, this is this, this is that, and then their chords. Hey, this is a major, this is a minor. And then later on you start to find out that they tie together. I'm trying to slowly introduce that in the very beginning, and I hope I'm doing a good job. So let's go back. we're dealing with C, and I'm telling you guys it's A minor, right? Okay, now I can explain and explain, but I don't want to go over you guys' head anymore. But that is a relative minor. And then, so what that means in the scale, all, oh, size limit, okay. In a scale, these two contain all the same notes. All right, so let me show you. You have C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Roll over here to A minor. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Okay? They're identical, they're just in a different order. And that different order creates emphasis. So if that emphasis on those notes is around A, you're going to be playing A minor. If that emphasis was more around that C, you're going to be in C major. Now later on, as you become intermediate or more of an advanced beginner, we'll start to explain how playing over particular chords, those chords are what's going to dictate, in most instances, what has emphasis, whether it would be that C or that A. But for this purposes, what you want to see is that the notes are the same between that root chord and it, or that root scale key and its relative minor. And at this point in time, I won't go any further and talk about the seconds and the thirds and the fifths and all that kind of stuff. We're just talking about that major third and that relative minor. So we're learning the A minor scale, and the best way to play that using all 6 strings will be at the fifth fret of the 6th string, which is an A, and it's going to go 5, 7, 8. Next string, 5, 7, 8. Next string, 5, 7, 9. Next string, 5, 7, 9. Then on the B, you're going to shift, and it's going to be 6, 8, 10. And then you're going to shift again, and you're going to get 7, 9, 10. Okay, I made a mistake on that. I said 7, 9, 10, and it's 7, 8, 10. I apologize for that. Okay. Okay, so the notes are A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, if you're going to run it all the way down. Alright, now that's not the only way to play the A minor scale, but that's the most common. That's what you call first position of the A minor scale. We're gonna move and transition in the next few lessons in the chords, and that should mesh with what I've been talking to you today. I'm hoping that this is helpful. Just like in the major scale, if you shift those positions, you'll shift what key you're playing in. Okay. So if I was to play that shape, that 1, 3, 4, if you're thinking of fingers and frets, 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4. If I go down to the C where we've been playing major, as opposed to, you'll notice it sounds different. Okay, because I played the C minor at that position, right? So if I played it off of here at B, that shape that I taught you here is going to be B minor. If I went up here at the 3rd fret, we'd play G minor, etc., etc. Alright? Same thing applies. So, real quickly, with the different strings, like I showed you that you could play C major all over the place, but primarily we think of playing C major here, starting at the 8th fret on the 6th string, and then again on the 3rd fret of the 5th string. That still holds true in the minor scale, right? So if I was going to play C major here, I can play here, right? I can also play C minor here. Okay, it's going to be the same. The reason I bring that up is so that you start to realize that everything is really linked together, intertwined in different relations, the different relationships that exist. And it's going to make a lot of sense when you're playing chords. You'll be able to play the same chord in multiple different places, just like you can play the same scales in multiple different places. Once again, I hope this helps. See you guys in the next episode. Have a great one. Bye.